Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk more person of interest. And it's going to be a short preamble to today's episode, but I'm excited to just see these two growing partnerships. We spent 5 episodes with Finch and Reese and seeing their working relationship develop, the trust between them begin to form. We know they're both on the same side, but they're both still very private men. They've got a lot of history and secrets, but eventually all of that stuff's going to leak out. I hope we get to see a little more of that relationship developing. And we also have this new partnership between Carter and Fusco, which I think is going to be quite interesting dynamically, because they're at slightly, they're both good cops. They both want to solve these crimes that are connected to Reese. But one of them wants to track Reese down, and the other wants to keep Reese off Carter's radar. So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic. I look forward to seeing more of that. Carter's got suspicions about Fusco, and she should. He's acting a little suspicious. So I hope that he becomes a little more subtle in getting calls from his ex and all of these sorts of things. Otherwise, I'm going to start losing respect for Carter and not sussing him out as working against her. But I'm also just looking forward to more fun, self-contained episodes. These are interesting stories. They're well crafted. They're sympathetic, and I like the mystery, at least of the first half of the episode, where it's like, why has this person's social security number been spat out by the machine? What is about to happen to them? What are they caught up in? Are they the good guy? Are they the bad guy? Is that going to be a twist or not? I like the mini mystery of each episode. That appeals to me quite a bit. So let's find out what it is this week. This is episode 6 of season 1, and it's called The Fix.
I can't hide it anymore. What we're doing is wrong.
We got an affair. What we got going on?
You're not my regular guy.
He's sick. They called me to fill in at the last moment.
Sorry for the inconvenience, Ms. Morgan, but Bill's come down with laryngitis. Caught it from his son.
Which son?
Andy, the younger one.
No small talk, no questions. You stay in the car and you keep your eyes on the road.
I look forward to it.
Okay, we're already on the case. This feels like a bit of a collateral situation.
No photos of family or friends.
Yep. Display home setup.
Dropped out of law school, no current employer. But she buys a $2 million apartment for cash 3 years ago. Where does she keep the things she cares about?
Maybe she doesn't
Where do
care
you?
about it.
I don't have any things I care about.
You got it?
You know I always come through for you.
Be good, Slip.
She buying drugs off a gang? In bulk? Oh, that's a lot of money for a handgun.
Keep your eyes on the road.
Uh-oh.
Especially when you've already got a handgun.
Why does she need another one?
Only reason you
Untraceable.
buy a gun off the street so it's untraceable.
Possible her number came up because she...
Plans to kill someone.
Oh, it's a cop benefit.
Target's a cop.
Lieutenant Gilmore.
Okay.
You owe me one. And so does the cop who left his sidearm in the subway bathroom.
Believe me, he knows.
Okay.
I'm grateful.
And in a perfect world, gratitude would be enough. That politically motivated investigation that you're running into Councilman Rush, about time you wrap it up, don't you think?
That makes us square.
No. But it's a good start.
You still owe me. Okay. Okay. So it's all about trading favors.
Be here tomorrow, 10 sharp.
Oh, we're just getting rid of the old guy?
She's a fixer.
Assuming then that she's the victim.
The Fix.
Any idea who'd want to take her out?
Who wouldn't?
Vincent DeLuca,
Public service homicide, if you ask me. This guy was an enforcer for La Costa Nostra in Brighton Beach.
Stabbing's personal.
He was charged with homicide in the mid-70s.
Marlene Elias.
Oh, Elias. M. Elias.
1973.
That's that case.
Evidence was stolen from a 40-year-old cold case?
Along with the murder weapon.
That's the knife.
Looks like Zoe's meeting with some businessmen. Sending you photos. Got another guy watching from an SUV.
Samuel Douglas, head of crisis management for Tannen Pharmaceuticals.
An affair? Who cares?
His wife. Mr. Lawson is in line to run Vertanen. He already runs the day-to-day, but his father-in-law is still the CEO. We appreciate your discretion, as always.
All right. She's Mike Ehrmantraut, except young and female.
I understand that you have something of interest to my client.
You know how I feel. I can't hide it anymore.
This is all 40?
Count it.
Okay. So what? So she's not making any money on it yet.
Hardly a thread. What about her previous jobs?
You need to get her talking.
Easier said than done.
I wanted to talk to you about that case you worked back in 73. An 8-inch kitchen knife, which turned up plunged into the chest of your lead suspect.
Marlene and the Don had a kid, a son.
Oh, so that's the vengeance angle right there. So that's 38 years ago. This kid's pushing 50 now.
I don't have to tell you what happens to those kids. You think he's your killer?
Don't know who else would go to so much trouble.
I hate jazz.
Huh. So, interesting. Why does she have jazz albums in her place? Client list in there?
With 2 people or 1?
Get back in the car. Talbot handed it over. No problems.
Did you listen to this?
You didn't hire me to listen.
Mr. Lawson would like to personally thank you.
His fee is all that's necessary.
No, we insist. Walter, get the driver.
Get out!
Is she safe?
For now, a little shaken up.
Who are you talking to?
They're willing to kill for that recording. We need to find out what's on it.
We need to find the journalist who sold you that recording. Find out what's on it.
He's dead.
I made a copy.
What we're doing is wrong.
Who's the girl on the tape?
No idea. Can barely make it out.
Not an affair.
Talbot is dead. Apparent cardiac
Yep.
arrest.
Apparent.
Douglas moves fast. They're killing everyone who had contact with that recording.
If they go into this much trouble, they'll be coming after Ms. Morgan
It's
again.
corporate espionage or...
Vertanen is a family. One I hope to be a part of for many years to come.
Dana Miller, Lawson's mistress, was an office romance. Nice work, Finch.
Do we even...
It's not the first time I've heard Dana Miller's name. 6 months ago, the machine gave me her number. Newspaper said she died of a brain aneurysm. She was 27. And as you know, the machine doesn't see accidents.
So she wanted to go public with the affair, and Lawson had her killed for it.
I don't think it's an affair.
Thank you for meeting me on such short notice.
I thought I knew everyone with an investment portfolio as broad as yours.
A little anonymity is rather rewarding. From my time in Japan, I learned never to go to a business meeting empty-handed.
That is too generous. What people really need, pain relief.
I can certainly relate to that.
This feels too early for opioid crisis, but it feels like that's where we're going.
New migraine drug. Revolutionary. Just approved by the FDA.
Robert Keller.
This is an impressive empire you've built here, sir.
Oh, it's Mark's empire now.
I'm confident my money is in good hands.
Flash drives recovered. Talbot won't be a problem again.
Great work.
I'll handle her.
And the driver, too. Nothing can connect us to this thing.
What thing?
You gotta read these things, Carter. I mean, it's as if the guy was gonna either be president or Attila the Hun.
All right, so are we setting this guy up as like a Moriarty type?
Keeps me up at night knowing what our drug has done. And I still can't clean up the last part of the recording, but...
Yeah, it's
there's enough here that
corporate
you can tell
fraud.
that Dana was not having an affair with Lawson. She was threatening to blow the whistle on him.
How'd they get FDA approval?
You know, before I found you...
Before we found
the numbers...
There's someone else
haunted
involved.
me.
Huh. What an interesting slip.
Try not to lose her.
He heard that too, didn't he? He picked up on that.
I know how all the pieces of the city fit together. I know all the players. I know all the angles.
I don't know you.
And then there's you. And I don't like things that I don't understand.
Then why did you want me to come here?
Because I don't have to like you to get some use out of you.
A scandal involving one of their drugs.
Not bad. She worked in clinical trials. And 5 days before she was killed, she was transferred out. You want to get out of here?
Where are we going?
To do something illegal.
Hasn't stopped him before.
What do you want now?
There's going to be a break-in at Vertanen Pharmaceuticals tonight. I need you to make sure that the police don't respond.
After this, we're done.
Okay. That's the second half of the favor.
Do I ever get to meet your imaginary friend?
He's a very private person.
And
There's a
he's
guard on the third floor stairs. It's coming your way.
got somebody else.
Probably one of those guys that can get out of anything with a paperclip. Where'd you learn this stuff?
It's a long story.
MacGyver school.
Clinical trial for their new drug, Silas said.
These are 2 files with the same name, but the older one is slightly larger.
So you delete the patients that got sick or died.
6 names are missing from the trial data.
They're all Hispanic names. That's interesting.
They're all dead, Mr. Reese. Wait. What does that sound?
Air conditioning, why?
Don't talk, don't move. I need a clean recording.
We do this on set all the time. We need to record room tone.
Well. Guess we should call the cops, huh?
Do people actually say that?
This is the cops not responding.
You're leaving me with no choice. I'm gonna go to Keller.
Reese, I think I found something. Mr. Reese?
You never did tell me your name.
John. My name's John.
Of course it is.
You might consider a new line of work.
You're one to judge. You don't know anything about me.
I know almost everything about you.
I want to be the person who knows what to say and always has something to trade.
So what are you gonna trade now?
I need to speak to Mr. Keller immediately. It's extremely urgent. A matter of life and death.
So we're finally face to face. You saw the Silas report?
Hope you don't mind. I emailed a copy to a friend, and if anything happens to us, that report goes public. What do you think Keller will do to you when he finds out?
First one to give up that report gets to live.
Do you think anything happens in my company without me knowing it, young lady? How stupid do you think I am?
Oh, he knows too. Keller knows too. He's just playing the doddering old fool.
Why aren't they dead yet?
I'll get you the report.
Yeah. This isn't a real betrayal.
Told you. Always have something to trade.
Yeah. MacGyver.
You really shouldn't be surprised. Never trusted that bitch.
Potassium chloride. Is
Always
that
looking for an angle.
heart attack or
Government
true
uses it
zero?
for lethal injections.
Oh, okay. Lethal injection.
Lucky you.
Lucky me.
She's about to hand over the copy of that trial data to Lawson.
You should be more trusting, Mr. Reese. Zoe just sent me her destination. Naval Yard. Sound familiar?
I'm sorry I started without you, Mr. Partridge, but when you're as old as I am, you can't waste a minute. What's your poison?
Potassium chloride.
You want me to go get it, or you?
I don't think you emailed that report to anybody at all. You just couldn't resist holding on to one more card. So you did send it to the one person in the world you could trust.
Yourself.
Yourself. Let's get the hell out of here.
Took your time.
At what point did you know you were gonna do the right thing?
Not 2 seconds before I slipped you the paperclip.
The board and I do need to know what your intentions are now that you own 8% of Vertanen.
Well, I'm gonna sell all that.
Actually, I've sold my shares in Vertanen. I had a tip that the price is about to take a nosedive. I shorted your company to the tune of 500 million shares.
But that's some handy insider trading of a sort there.
I know the only thing you do care about is money. So that's what I'm going to take from you.
You were right, Mr. Keller.
Thanks to you, I never will have to invest in another company.
Well, we just bankrolled the show. It's a $500 breakfast tab. That's kind of...
Sully. It's me.
Sully.
Please!
Somebody must have had a big payday.
Not as big as you'd think. Dana Miller's family got a healthy donation for their suit against Vertanen. Eyes on the road, John.
Start spreading the news.
Stay out of trouble.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You got my number.
All right. Another fun one. These are just fun episodes. They're well written. They're smart enough that not everything's telegraphed. But I'm beginning to notice, maybe it's a pattern, maybe it's just wishful thinking, I'm not sure. But the last 3 episodes, our person of interest has been a doctor, a judge, and a fixer. And it feels like these could be very useful allies in the future. And I feel like we're like setting up potential recurring guest stars, especially this episode. Zoe is a female Reese. She might not be quite so action-oriented, but she's just as influential. She's apparently doing things for the right reason. I don't think you write this episode without thinking, if this clicks with the audience, we'll definitely bring her back. There's a bit of a sexual chemistry between the two of them. So, this just sort of ticks all the boxes of what you want to add to the show. I like that we're getting into... I could have sworn, like, the way they were setting this up with pain relief and the drug companies and everything, it just felt like we were doing an opioid epidemic episode almost, except we're like 5 years too early for that. Before, that was like in the mainstream consciousness. So, yeah, it almost felt like a prescient episode in that regard. But it's... I love that we're diving into the corruption. It feels real. None of it feels overblown or fantastical. It all feels pretty real worldly, except, because you've got to write this for network television, because you've got to put a whole story into 42 minutes. You keep it relatively simplistic and straightforward. You don't include a heap of new characters and really complicated relations and dynamics and all the rest of it. You keep it relatively straightforward. New bad guys, new good guys. The only gray zone seems to be in how we choose to punish some of the bad guys on this show. Occasionally we kill, occasionally we just send people to trial. Occasionally we steal from them. Sometimes it's a matter of necessity, like killing the henchman with the lethal injection drug. And sometimes it serves a higher purpose, like shorting the drug company, shorting the stock, and profiting massively off their decline so that we can have more resources for the further adventures of Finch and Reese. I'm cool with all of that. It just feels like a fun adventure at this point. And the stakes are network television stakes. I don't feel like this is that our characters are in real peril. The The narrative is intelligent, but it's not convoluted. It's easy enough to follow, and the twists are there. They're not mind-blowing twists. You know, we get a couple in this episode. You know, Keller, the old man CEO, he's actually in on it. He's not the innocent, doddering old fool that we might have thought he was upon first glance. And Zoe's betrayal wasn't really a betrayal. We only think that maybe she's turned on Reese, but that lasts for all of like 5 seconds, if it lasts at all. Because immediately we go, oh no, it's fine, because she just slipped him a paperclip. So yeah, you know, it's fun. I wouldn't call it stressful yet, because I have no reason to stress about our characters. We're going to be successful every episode. We're going to solve the mystery of the week and save the person of interest if they require saving. So it makes it a lower stakes show than some of the other stuff where you're genuinely wondering whether your lead actor is going to survive the season. But it doesn't make it less entertaining. It's highly entertaining. It's a ton of fun. Like I said, it's still smart writing. It's just written with a different objective. Yeah, I'm still really enjoying it. I do hope that at some point we start diving into a deeper through line. Don't get me wrong, I like the episodes of the week. I like that these are basically self-contained. But I feel at some point, and I don't think this show would have been recommended to me by so many of you if we don't get there eventually, we're going to dive deeper into a through line, a connective story that ties all our episodes together. It's early days. We're establishing just a foundation here. Maybe we're introducing some recurring characters each episode. Only time will tell. But I'm enjoying the ride right now. That's the important thing. I'm having fun with the show. I hope you guys are having fun with my reactions. I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. Thank you so much for being great about avoiding spoilers. That actually really does mean a ton to me. I like this experience to feel as fresh as possible. You guys are making that happen, so keep it up. Thank you. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I don't want you guys to miss any of these either. So on that note, until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.